Hello, everyone. My name is Arnold. I am a student at Fresno State taking Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies. Today, we will be learning about the evolution of LGBTQIA community. This is episode 1 of 2. I want to start by mentioning the Hays Code. It's officially known as the Motion Picture Production Code, aimed to regulate films, including explicit sexuality, profanity, and depictions of homosexuality. Hays Codes were a set of moral guidelines and rules that were meant to make Hollywood pictures presentable and safe for the public at large, which meant not covering or featuring certain controversial films, topics, or actions. This caused the altercation of themes and topics that were considered normally or socially controversial. Actors and filmmakers found creative ways to challenge these regulations by using certain language, certain symbols, or even subtext. An example is a film called Some Like It Hot. It's about two musicians who were in a mob hit that decided to hide by disguising themselves as women. In the early years of media, these individuals were often portrayed through negative stereotypes. Some recurring themes were villains, deviant characters, malicious characters. They were even considered criminals. Early portrayals were also often coded or lacked explicit knowledge of the LGBTQ characters. However, in recent times, there has been a shift towards a more authentic and an inclusive representation. Speaking from experience, my first encounter with a somewhat of a queer character was a character named Roger the Alien. He is from an animated TV show named American Dad. His sexuality was depicted as pansexual. He pretty much dressed like a woman, dressed like a guy, acted like a woman, acted like a guy. In earlier decades, they were often portrayed as stereotypes or as tragic figures facing discrimination or violence. However, in more recent years, there has been a broader range of representation. A common trope in the LGBTQ cinema is the coming out story, where characters struggle with their sexuality orientation before ultimately accepting themselves and revealing their identities to others. Although this might be inspiring to some individuals, Hollywood saw this as an advantage to look down on gays or lesbians. There has been a push for a more diverse representation within the LGBTQ community in films, including people of color, transgenders, individuals, and non-binary characters. This reflects the diversity of real-life experiences within the queer community. Overall, while there have been both positives and negative depictions of gays and lesbians in film history, there is a growing trend towards a more authentic representation that reflects diversity of the LGBTQ experience. From personal experience, I also see this shift in real life. Every day, I see a more authentic, a more explicit, and a more real movement towards this. Every day I see this as a more normal thing, more than ever. But this is episode 1 of 2. On episode 2, we will continue to reflect on some personal experience and the evolution of the LGBTQIA community. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you. Hello, everyone. This is episode 2 out of 2 of exploring the LGBTQ community. This episode, we will be talking about some personal experiences and a example I like to share with you guys. Overall, being around gays, lesbians, heterosexual, cisgender, all you can think of is not too bad. In my own personal experience, I've had to learn how to adjust. My earliest encounters with these type of topics have been through films, like cartoons, movies, and people I've met throughout my life. Early on, I had to learn how to know the character and why that character acted a certain way. An example I want to show is from a TV show / video that was shared with me by my professor. I'm going to play it real quick.
And the vampire Marceline. But even then,
it was pretty much impossible to have characters in an animated show that were openly LGBTQIA.
Pendleton Ward, the show's creator, supported this idea, but Rebecca said she faced years of pushback from the studio, which was concerned about distribution in countries where being gay or lesbian was censored in media and considered a crime.
When we tried to talk about it openly, the hammer came down, and it went all the way to the top and came down hard on us.
The character's relationship wasn't confirmed until 2018. She decided to create her own show and push the boundaries even further. So in 2012, she started developing Steven Universe, about a gender non-conforming boy who is friends with extraterrestrial non-binary beings, or gems. In season 1...
So here you can kind of tell the evolution of such topics in cartoons. There has been a great push to make these a normal thing to see every day by adults, teens, and children. I can say myself that I've been super engaged and open-minded to hear and learn about all these types of identities. Moving forward to real life experiences, I've also encountered conversations with people that are gay, lesbian, and those people are just as normal as a normal human being is. Although they have a different type of liking, you just have to know them and really understand what they feel and how they want to be treated. Just like everybody else, they're humans. They're not aliens. They're not from a different planet. They're humans, and we have to learn how to cope with it, understand them, and get along with them. It could be as simple as a normal conversation to really open your mind and make you realize that they are just as normal as you are. Overall, I'm glad that the media has been pushing forward towards different identities to give these people an opportunity to have their voice heard and talk to us about how they want to be treated. Over the past years, I've learned how to talk to gays, lesbians. It wasn't right off the bat that I don't want to say comfortable, but different. And yes, you do have to have a certain type of vocabulary when speaking to someone that's gay, lesbian, etc. But it all just takes practice and respectfulness. Thank you. This was the final episode of the evolution of the LGBTQIA community. I hope you were able to learn and grasp how big of a movement this has become over the past decade. I will see you on the next one.